What's up, Gunpla modelers? This is Strider Prime bringing you a new edition of Gundam Models. Still in the preparation stage of moving and putting a lot of things away in storage, stuff that I'm selling on eBay, stuff that I may sell on a little, little flea market type thing or a garage sale. But as I'm packing up stuff, I'm starting to discover things that I haven't seen in a very, very, very long time. Part of stuff that was part of my collection, things that I've always wanted to share but never get around to show it. And I thought, I started finding a few things. I said, oh wow, I can't believe I still have this. I thought I lost this. So I wanted to share with you a set of magazines and articles and things, whatnots, that I've collected through the years. These, of course, is a stack of my Mecha Press magazines that I picked up back in the, I would say, early to mid 90s. I used to work in New York, and there was a kind of like a RPG store that sold stuff for games workshops, things for role playing. And they had a lot of these magazines and stuff like that I picked up, and some of them were pretty cheap, like this one. This, of course, is my stack of Mecha Press magazines. And here's one. This was at the time was retailing at $5.95. And I wanted to go through a few of these. Don't take too much time, but just to go through a few of them. This one, of course, covered the article of all the Gundam from Victory. Okay, let's see. What's the year on this? If the magazine shows it, was printed in Canada. Darn it! I wish there was a date on this. I'll find out soon enough. There's always a way to find out. And they've really, really covered all, aspects of mechas and science fiction from Japan, all that stuff. Okay, look, Battletech animated series schedule, or where to see it in specific areas in the United States. Win a Mad Cat contest. That's kind of cool. Sci-fi anime. I guess a store located in Quebec. By the way, a lot of these articles of and ads of places of different areas, I highly doubt they still exist, but it'll be cool to reminisce on which one is, which one exists and which one doesn't. History of the Victory series, and of course the technology and the weaponry that was used and the mold suits. Of course, here's Victory Gundam. Here's the Victory Hexa Gundam right here. Characters. There's the Gun EZ that we already now got as a RE100. Some other mobile suits that maybe we may get this as RE100s. Who knows? Depends on the popularity. Zola would have been nice to see as a bad villain, because we don't have that many from the from the Victory line. Excuse me. And then this one's something called Building the BZ. Okay, this is actually from Battletech, and clearly it's I don't think it's a plastic. This is more like a resin kit of some sort. Then of course the series Heavy Armor. Here's a cool little thing. A lot of these little these mechs that I remember seeing at the store was all pewter based, or resin based. Some breakdowns of episodes like Armored Trooper Votoms, which I would like to see one day. Some got set of materials for those who who were big in heavy gear. Mechton Z anime mecha role playing coming soon. Here's a model kit of the Speed Racer. Alright, I wanted to share this with you. GTC. Please tell me if you guys remember this. Way back, I would say late 80s, going into the 90s. I discovered this not from this magazine, from an old Starlog magazine. And as you can see, it says you send $3 to get a 28-page illustrated catalog with over 1,000 different models from Robotech, Star Trek, Galactica, Gundam, Thunderbird, Star Wars, Macross, and more, all in stock. Now, Galactic Trade Commissions, I did get the catalog, and I love looking at that catalog. I wish I still have it. And considering that I have a lot of stuff, I'm still moving around things, and I have boxes and areas in my house that I haven't pulled out yet. If I find it, I can't wait to review this. But if anybody has this, please tell me if you guys got it. Basics of mecha modeling. This is kind of cool, like all the paints that was used back in the day. Paint brushes, of course, right there. Some game reviews, Marauder 2107. I don't know what that is. Secrets of organizational campaigns. SD Jovian Chronicles. Check that out. An SD version of an RPG. That's cool. The Sentinels, Macross, Return of Macross, Aftermath, probably like an article. Revised play sequence for Mecha. I have actually the book for that. I will review that another day. Good, and then of course custom designs and feature, for you who want to get into that. Yeah, that was actually really nice. I think that's pretty much it. Of course, Inaris Publications, the Protocol Culture magazine. I never got into Protocol Culture for whatever reason. I was more of a Mecha fan. Let's look at this one. This is, of course, everything in reference to Battletech. I'll remember this anime back in the day. Darn it, I wish there was a date on this. The short history of Battletech. I've been watching a lot of Battletech video on YouTube. Heavy Gear Fighter, Ghost in the Shell, manga, Bandai's Micro Gundam. Wow, I gotta read this. I don't think I remember this. Bandai Corporation is releasing a new line of small-scale models for Gundam. Micro Gundams, as the line is called, stands about 80 millimeters tall or 3.1 inches and comes pre-assembled with individual boxes. Their molding color require only minimal assembly. Ball joints give them the exceptional mobility in making a Micro Gundam perfect for use in gaming miniatures. Their first release was the RX-72, Victory, FA Gundam, and many more. Again, no date, but this must be like very hard to find to see something like that. Wow. Battletech show overview. This is the animation series of Battletech, which of course came out, or MechWarrior, how you want to refer to it. The animation was not the best, but we take what we want. And here were like the mobile suits, Battletech units that were used: the Axeman, the Mauler, the Awesome, the Bushwhacker. I remember the toys when they came out. Here are the Hunchback, the Banshee. I don't think I remember the toy for that one. And of course the Mad Cat and the Vulture, and which of course was Mad Dog. I'm surprised that they never made the Mad Cat as a toy. I'm sorry, you know what? I didn't realize my camera was not in the right angle, so I'm going to readjust it again. Yuna Galaxy Fräulein. That's some cool mech designs there. That's actually really nice. New card game from DP9. Dragons of Fury. Macross Robotech subscription, if you want a subscription for Robotech. Battletech Fallout comic book or magazine. I think it was the comic book, yes. Yeah, these were comics. Gundam, Victory Gundam 1/100 scale model kits when they first came out. I remember these kits. Here's the Heavy Gear line. All the miniatures were all pewter. I remember that at the store. More episode reviews of Armored Trooper Votoms, Heavy Gear Fighter, the complete HGL. I remember the video game. I got into that one. Miniature review, of course. Cool to see something like that. the basic of mecha modeling. Here we go. More information. There's a lot of resources here. Another GTC ad. Full thrust, fleet action in deep space. I remember seeing a RPG of like ship combat, and it had many ships, and there was one company that tried to do like the massive anime fleet attack type thing, but it was I guess it never came into publication. So the gear stuff, mecha games, rescue campaigns. This is clearly from Thunderbirds. This gives you some ideas here. Alright, next one is Votoms. Alrighty then. They don't do these anymore. Wish they did. Like, maybe they're doing it, I don't know, because I haven't been to those type of stores in a long time. The story of the Votom Trooper series and their lore. When I first found out about the Votom, I didn't realize how small the units were, and a majority of their attack capability is usually punching or impact attacks. Yeah, they do have like various weaponry and all that stuff. That was actually a cool one. I like that one. I bought one Votom kit, and when I finished building it was about this big, and I'm like, oh my god, this thing is small as hell. I think it was a 1/100 scale, because again, it's a small mech. It's not Gundam size. Thundering Mad Cat Part 2. So basically this is Part 2 of building or weathering or making the infamous Mad Cat. And then of course some configurations on how to, what kind of modifications you want to put on this. Oh, so here's episode 1 of the series, if you want to start reading about it. I gotta watch it though. Victor Gun. Again, I don't know if this was a quarterly publication or a monthly publication, but clearly we've on the first 3 magazines, first three issues that I'm looking at, it's all victory models. And then of course we have some introduction of modeling. That's pretty cool. There's Scoop Dog. There's the Jagan 1/100 scale. No, 1/44 scale. That's right. Back then there was 1/100. The Silhouette, another mech type game. That's kind of cool. I like that one. Ooh, I kind of like the Spider Walker type thing. I haven't seen that in a long time. Jovian Chronicles. Obviously a knockoff of that mobile armor that I completely lost track of. Not Alpha Zoo, the other one. This is of course from Southern Cross. I remember that one. Mad Docs, I remember this too. Alright. Pat Labor. Of course. No, this had to be the most dumbest thing I've ever seen, but obviously they were trying to fill in the gap. When at the height of Exo Squad, they decided to bring in the Robotech line to the mix so that way they can continue selling the mold. I had this, and but I didn't have these 3. Those things were huge. I remember how big they were. What's Pat Labor? I remember that. Good reading material right there. The second movie of Pat Labar, or Pat Labor, I really like. I didn't like the first one because it was like too boring and drawn out. The second one had a little bit of a better story. Wasn't too crazy about the third. It was nicely done, but not too crazy about it. I like the design of the Ingram, especially with the padding that gives it, with the bulletproof padding on it. I like this one. This is actually pretty nice. Now that there are model kits of this, but back then there were not model kits of these vehicles, like this spider tank, or this one right here. Military tanks, of course, the illustrations were very nice. Clearly, that one's nice right there. I really like this helicopter, especially the utilitarian ones. Guinness C1 Zeta Gundam. So this is actually this article will explain how the C1 Zero Gundam variant shown in the pictures was made. It was basically a C1 stand. Okay, so back in the day, this was the high grade version. This was not the master grade. So that's kind of cool to see, like, somebody was actually willing to do an article on how to make it and design it. Of course, the pictures of this was all dark, not color. So we have OmniMech review, more episodes of Votoms. Oh yeah, this one came with heavy gear cards, so you can use it for the game. We'll cover that in a moment. Heavy armor, which is basically from Bubblegum Crisis, the Boomers, I remember that one, AD Police. Got documentation on Battletech novels, basics of model building again, what to do with the cleaning up of parts and all that stuff. The uses of glue and adhesives. More material for people who were into heavy gear. I would like to hear you guys tell me whether or not you guys actually played heavy gear, or Mechton, or Mecha, or Jovian Chronicles. Just let me know. Ultraman 2, the origins of the monsters. Of course, we have Godzilla, and we have a weird jellyfish-like creature. Mechton adaptation of. Oh yeah, that there was a role-playing for like sci-fi mecha robot monster action type thing from this, and of course this is introducing Mechagodzilla into the game if you wanted to play it. I had no idea what this is. There was a weird game that I remember reading about based off Aztecian robots. Griffin, which of course was from Durham. Alright, so now we're into this one. Clearly, this is 0083. War in the Pock. Stardust Memories. Ugh. Palladium Books, remember that a lot. Dolls are the Law's briefing. All the briefing of that. This is actually really good material for those of you who actually wanted to find out about what was happening during the events prior to 0083. Of course, this one covers the latter part. There's the GPO3, we all remember that, and the Dendrobian, and of course the New Zeal. That's what I wanted to say. Just escaped my head for that minute. The Waldo, or the Val Waldo, the Val Waddle, and then the Gabera, etc. And then we have the Gelgoog Marine, which I would love to see the Gelgoog Marine as a master grade. It's well designed. I should buy myself the high grade version. Of course, I just recently recently sold my Draw C kit. And of course, here's some cool ship designs. Here's the Albion, the Birmingham. Was it a cool battleship type thing? And then we have the Xeon forces right there. More episodes of it's covering the episodes of the Stardust Memories. Heavy armor. Heavy armor. Well, it says heavy armor, but I don't think it's called heavy armor because it kind of looks like from Battletech. Yeah, these are Battletech. That's Omnimex. I remember that one now. Modeling spaceships. This is really good. I'm gonna have to read this again. This was a great article at the time. Of course, I wasn't building model ships at the time as well, so I'm surprised they never covered Yamato. And maybe they did, and I don't know. Some great designs. Some of the designs are great. Some of them are kind of beyond ridiculous. Like, kind of like this. A mecha with a spatula on it. Weapons. Syrup. Okay, hold on. This is the Ultra Stack. Ultra Stack is a giant robot composed of the 5 smaller mechs known as the Buttermilk 5. One of the pilots controls Ultra Snack. When in Ultra mode, the robot creates a giant 50-foot spatula and uses it as a weapon. When not defending the cosmos, Ultra Snack stands outside one of the local chains of pancake houses. It comes with the syrup cannon, the butter spray, the Bonzaberry missiles, the OJ laser, and the battering ram. Battering, I guess so. Again, beyond ridiculous. That's it. Alright, so we're now into Macross mode now. Macross 2 was actually a really good anime to watch at the time. Really did. I really did enjoy watching it. And every now and then, when I feel like watching, I'll go on YouTube and pull it up. Pretty much the Macross technology, the lore, the original characters, especially the movie. And for whatever reason, I can't seem to sit down and watch the Do You Remember Love movie. I have to do that again. It's been a long time. Flashback to 2012. This one I have no idea, but I guess it's like a continuation of the series. Macross 2 characters. I remember this. The Valkyrie 2 was really cool mech at the time. Then of course we have the Gigametsu, and the can't even pronounce that. Don't even bother. Here's the model kit of this. I do remember that. Of course, we all can't forget the Zentradi Galug. Not a big. I've always did like this, but I tried to build it one time and I messed it up. I would not mind revisiting it again if there was a better design. Okay, so here's actually a history of F91. I think we just covered. Yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam Formula 91. Clearly, this came out in 1991 because at the time that was the year when it came out. Oh wow, don't remember this. Colored pictures of the refined Gundam Zeta. We all remember this, the RGEZ. And of course there's the 144 scale Jagan, which of course somebody painted it. Wow, I didn't even think about that. Just somebody painted it in the tannish colors, not the light bluish colors. That's actually that's a throwback right there. And I thought I was the only one that painted that. Then of course some Votom kits right there. We're still in the pages where it's discussing Macross 2. And here are all the variants of the Macross fighters. Page 29, page 30, Mecha modeling. Wow, they really covered a lot of cool things about this. Damn it, I gotta now read this again. Battletech, the Japanese edition. Check out, here's the Japanese version of Battletech and their designs. Look at that. The Archer, the Battlemaster, Crusader, Locust, which is basically from Crusher Joe. That I remember. The Mecha Invasion Campaign. Gunheed. I can never... Again, another movie that I have not sat down to see. Combat, the new game from 7th Street Games. I don't know about that one. And of course, new types, hobbies and toys, model, garage kits, and other Jap animation goods. This was based out of San Francisco. Don't know if that place is still there. In 1531B 10th Avenue. There's a lot of books here. We're gonna go through this quickly because I'm down to like 4 books, and we'll get to that in a minute. So actually, this was here we go. We got a date, 1992 Mecha Press. I think this was the first article. Techno Police 2100. Mechton, closest to the Jap animation. Zekus Eins, remember this? The Type C, which is the one that I built, and I sold it, and so it's on its way to the person who purchased it. Unfortunately, this didn't come with other things like you see here, other features, but it would have been nice if it was. I would like to see this as a master version. Why the Pat Labor or Labor? This is basically covering either the series or the movie, but I think it's the series. All the characters from the series, the actual design of the Ingram, the AV-98 Ingram mobile unit. I remember the model kit when this came out, the Griffin. That was really nice. This one has pretty cool. I kind of like this one. And this kit too. F91 model review. We all remember. I remember getting this, obviously that, and that. I don't think I ever got this. Obviously we all got that. Maddox 01, Mecha, that one. Now this one, unfortunately, this one the whole page broke, but it's actually the picture of the Arcadia from Captain Harlock. I don't know how it got damaged, but I'm not. Obviously, this is something I'm going to keep a lot. We have the history, spaceships and anime. Here we go. So, review of Space Pirate Captain Harlock. So I watch a lot of the movies of Captain Harlock. My youth in Arcadia is still one of my favorites. And now I recently purchased the ship. Where did I purchase it? I think it was in MosquitoCon. So I can't wait to build it. I don't know if it was this one or this one. One of those two. I have this model kit. As a matter of fact, can I get to it? No, I don't think I can. Never bought the model kit of this. There were never model kits of these, of course. They were beyond ridiculous. And of course you have the character of the series, backstory and all that fun stuff. Of course this one had one of my favorite series, Space Cruiser Yamato. Space Cruiser Yamato, Space Battleship Yamato, Star Blazers. It's Yamato. Tomato. And it was cool. This was the anime that sucked me into me watching it after I got out of school. When I got out of school, I went directly to my cousin's house, where she was the only one that had cable. And there was a cable channel that was playing a weird Hercules series. What was it? Speed Racer and Yamato. And here are all the ships from the series: the Otica, the Yokuzuki, the EDF main battleship, which of course somebody asked me whatever happened to that ship. Here it is. I painted a bit. I'll probably hand paint it one day. The Andromeda, EDF destroyer, EDF battle cruiser, the main characters, the series. Of course, the battle cruiser class and the escort cruiser class and the patrol cruiser class are almost identical to, in every aspect. Surprisingly, they didn't show any of the Gamelis or Gamelon ships. And here's the history of the real Yamato. Gundam. Here are all the model kits from Gundam, the Salamis, Musai, and a Magellan class. This is, of course, way beyond, way like, what, 20 years ago? 30 years ago, before we start seeing Origins and they showed like a better version of these ships, or how it looked at the time. Oh my god, Tekkaman Blade, remember those? Remember there was 2 model kits of that, that's right. And we have the Legis Tread Bomber, which of course was from Robotech, the 3rd season, you could say. And of course the, talking about 0083. Oh my god. Now here's something. GM Custom. We all remember the 5-star stories. Never got a 5-star story kit. The newer kits are ridiculously amazing, but even back then the older kits were pretty good as well. And they were made by Wave. And this was 1/44 scale. More Votom kits. Here's the continuing with the Gundam, Pegasus class, Salmas class, Magellan, Zanzibar, and of course, somebody made a goof. Instead of calling Zion with a Z, Zion with a J. Or Giant. Somebody goofed back then. Crusher Joe. I love the Crusher Joe ships, and I do have a model kit that's in view right now. Let me pull it out. So we have the Minerva, which we're getting a model, I guess a new Minerva model ship coming out this year. The Dasher ship, which I really like this because this definitely has a pirate ship-like look to it. Almost it's very uniquely designed. I remember having the model kit of this, and I would love to see a bigger version. This Dragoneer reconnaissance ship, I have it right here. Good design. I love this ship. Unfortunately, the actual base is too wobbly and it comes off easily. So, but I have that. I may have to clean that up, and maybe I'll paint that one day. I've always wanted to grab this ship. This one was the Cordoba battleship, bristling with weaponry. Unfortunately, it's very hard to find, as well as this one. And here's the Parrot missile battleship. That was actually really looks nice as well. More Tekkaman Blade reviews, 5-star story reviews, more publications for gaming, and of course, if you want to adapt those ships into your RPGs, you have the Pegasus. For Mecha, you can add this to Battletech, which I don't know where that fighter is. I think that one's from 0083. Oh no, this is from ACO. Project ACO, I remember them. Combat technology briefing, the briefing of weaponry, and whatnot. Whoops, like I said, that thing keeps coming off. The last two magazines I'm going to review is B Club and New Type. This is a very old B Club magazine from 1990. And it pretty much covered all the obviously we are getting a master grade F90 Gundam and its variants. We're getting this one, we're getting this one, we're getting this one. And at the time when this came out, this was pretty cool. Ooh, that's actually really nice. I like that one. That's a beautiful, beautiful camouflage of the Kemper right there. And of course there's Alex, which we're getting that soon. Griffin from the Patlabor series. I'm busy. I remember having this model kit. It was kind of cool. There's from Yamato. Good classic kit. They never, all those ships, the frontline ships from the first movie, from the first few episodes, they never made it in large scale. They always made it in small scale back in the day. Now that there's larger scale versions of them. Some information on Ultraman. Yeah, I don't think B Club is still going. I'm just going to peruse through this. Ultraman. Alright, so this one, this is Godzilla versus Biollante, so this I remember. There's a Goph right there. And then there's the Zeta. 1/220th scale. Jesus. Oh, this is from B Club. So these are resin kits. There's Krillin and Vegeta. A little mini manga there, which follows AD Police, I believe, because it looks, yeah, well, that's the Boomer. Yep, the AD Police. I think that's pretty much it. And this was a New Type magazine that came out in 2006. The New Type is pretty much done already. I'm not going to review this, though, because it's... Let me see if there's anything here related to Gundam. Okay, this is Seed Destiny, actually. Eureka 7. Would I remember that series? Yeah. Alright, so that's pretty much it of my review of all the magazines that I've had. I will review more magazines when the time comes. So thank you guys all for watching, and stay tuned for more Gundam models yet to come. You guys all have a great day.